And the skipper to put away goal number 2. Half-time here, it's Town 2, Bournemouth 0. Town leading 2-0 at half-time against Bournemouth. Steve Sherwood getting a good clap into his goal. And Town, after that last 5 minutes of the first half, in the driving seat. No substitutions made by either side by the looks of things. John Cockrell obviously shaken off his injury from the first half. Bournemouth kicking off. And as I said earlier in the commentary, it is now up to Bournemouth. They have got to be opened up. Birtles to McDermott, in turn to Childs, ball back to John McDermott, the long one forward now. Gary Childs pinches it, looking for the lob through the middle, offside. Tony Rees, who wanted it to feet, he says. Miller takes a free kick, moving ball, and I think the referee's going to want that back. Straight through the middle. Gary Birtles meets it. John Cockrell after it. Paul Agnew has to play it. Concedes a throw. Dundee. Ball back to the wing. That's Faraday out there. Dundee. Cross coming in. Mark Lever, good header out. Ball's nodded back in again though. And Gary Birtles. Dundee to the wing, gets it back, and in turn back to the wing. It's all on that right side at the moment. Ball away, Tony Rees. Control lets him down. Ball goes out for a throw to Bournemouth. Whoops, bit of a late challenge. Clumsy one by Cockrell. Bournemouth get the free kick. Once again, it's played to that wing. Cross comes in now. Plenty of men looking for it. Steve Sherwood with a tip over. And I think that was Sean Teal who'd come up. Directed the header well enough. So 2 minutes of the second half gone, and that's Bournemouth's first corner of the game. Sean Brooks will take it. And it comes now, hit to the far post. Man coming in behind them all was Blissett. Steve Sherwood went for it. Couldn't get the fist on it he wanted. Blissett came around the back, unfortunately for Town, hammered it into the boardings behind the goal. So after 3 minutes of the second half, it's still a scoreline of Grimsby Town 2, Bournemouth 0. Rees and Cunnington being the goal scorers. Paul Agnew, Cockrell, Dundee forward. Ball inside, it's a good one. If the man looks up, which he didn't, there could have been danger. Cleared now by Birtles. Childs lets the ball run. Rees is on the run. Rees will take this under pressure. Childs. Rees left low. Well, we're going to have a booking. Sean Teal goes into the book for his late challenge on Tony Rees. Don't think it was particularly nasty or anything. But I can only assume he's being shown the yellow card for persistent fouling. He's certainly a bit of a tough character, is Teal. Woods. John McDermott had to stretch for it. And I think that's going to be a Bournemouth throw. It was given to Town. McDermott. Back to Gary Birtles. And he in turn might put this back to Steve Sherwood. Proves us all wrong. John McDermott, ball forward. Nice one to Woods. Good layoff. McDermott. Childs outside. Back to John McDermott. Blissett puts him under pressure. And the ball eventually does go back to Steve Sherwood. Steve Sherwood's kick. Ball through the middle. Rees to Woods. Two in the middle now. Ball gets caught up. Still Neil Woods. Still going. Still going. Still going. And pinched at the end by Miller. Lovely mazy run there by Woods. And well reached by John McDermott. Childs inside. Cunnington on the chest. Lob back to the wing. Childs. This is good play by Town. McDermott. Low ball to Rees. Controls it instantly. Back now to Childs. Into the middle. And once again it's Miller at the back doing the leg work. Town's approach play once again looking very, very good. Birtles. And Steve Sherwood once again to start things off for Town. But it's those quick 4 or 5 passes that are incisive for Town down this right hand side, and twice there almost producing danger. Neil Woods on that run, and then Miller picking the final pass off. As Childs, McDermott and Rees between them made another opening. Bit of the ball shown there. Gilbert was in. And the ball is out. Bournemouth will get the throw. Smack on the halfway line. Here's Miller. Paul Agnew. Clears. It's into midfield. Woods is there. Dundee back to the wing. Whoops, late one. Paul Agnew just having a quiet word from the referee. Free kick taken quickly. Lobbed into the middle now, there's danger here. And once again it's Teal with the header. Steve Sherwood covering his goal well. Tony Rees couldn't reach it. Forward again by Bournemouth. This is Jones. Must have some support. Ball out. Grimsby will get the throw. McDermott with it. Rees. Cunnington. Only knocked into space. Miller will turn and clear. Blissett. Under pressure from Gary Birtles, only knocks the ball out. Paul Agnew will take the throw. Down the line, Woods after it. Another Town throw. Paul Agnew. 53 minutes of the match gone. It's still Grimsby Town 2, Bournemouth 0. Paul Agnew throws back to Gary Birtles. Back to Paul Agnew. Well played there by Gilbert. Cockrell wants the ball back. Rees laid it into the space in the right back position. McDermott will now go on the overlap. Childs. Oh, Childs, and just played the ball to where Rees had come from. In goes Gary Birtles. Woods. Now Bournemouth should get it away. Birtles. Steve Sherwood. John McDermott. Childs. Rees is in front of him. Woods through the middle. Just over the head of Woods. Sean Cunnington. Oh, a late challenge on Sean Cunnington. Woods allowed to play the ball off. Mark Lever. The referee was trying to allow play to go on there. It never really worked out for Town. Well seen by Gary Birtles. Cockrell. Tony Rees. Looked a little bit elaborate. The referee acknowledging the fact he couldn't get out of the way. Well in by Agnew. Ball safely in the hands of Steve Sherwood. Half decent crowd here today. Last Saturday before Christmas. It's normally the lowest attendance of the season. It might be as yet, but it's nice to see plenty of people come out. Childs, a good header on. Woods, back to Gary Childs. Oh, he has runners in front of him. Let's see. Cockerell. Oh, it's tough. Well spotted by Gary Childs. Birtles in again. Agnew. Rees. This looks appetising. Woods. Oh, and that's a penalty. And the referee surely has to look at his linesman here. Well, it's been given right on the edge of the box. And if that's a professional foul, then the man is supposed to be off as well. But he has not done so. Town have got a free kick lined up on the edge of the area. Neil Woods was the man going through. And we've got Dave Gilbert and Sean Cunnington after this one. Poor Dave Gilbert put one right over the top at Southend from a similar position last week. Let's see what's going to happen here, but the fans are not happy. Let's hope the free kick can make them happy. Six-man wall. Gilbert, shot comes in. Oh, yes! You won't see a better strike of a ball. My goodness, and that really deserved a goal. Woods' run through the middle was timed perfectly. And Neil Woods has to take some credit there, because it was a challenge on him that resulted in it. And Dave Gilbert, well, that is how you take a free kick from that position. And it's a good job the net was there, because otherwise that would have killed one of the Bournemouth supporters. That was absolutely hammered in. Bournemouth make the substitution. Redknapp is coming on. That's the gaffer's lad. Andy Jones has gone off, and it's Bournemouth 3 goals down. Yes, and as Graham quite rightly said, and I will say it, seeing as Rowley isn't here today, who needs a penalty when you can hit a ball like that? A long one through the middle. And in a minute I'll tell you who the other substitute is for Bournemouth, because that is the lad Koku. I'm just trying to see who the other man is that's gone off. Sean Brooks, it appears, is the other man who has gone off for Bournemouth. So it's Brooks and Jones off, Redknapp and Koku on. Free kick for Bournemouth in midfield. Redknapp feeds a wing. Ball to come in now. Paul Agnew sticking tight to the man, low cross. Steve Sherwood collects. Paul Agnew. And the town bench gesticulating there that the man was offside, and he was just, I think, by about 20 yards. And we were standing gobsmacked here on this balcony trying to wonder why the flag wasn't up or why the referee didn't acknowledge it. Well, anyway, it's back to action. Steve Sherwood. Good long kick straight through the middle. Once again Birtles in there. John Cockerell picking it up. Leaves it to Dave Gilbert. Paul Agnew. Rees. Ooh, just couldn't quite get the touch. Cunnington might do. Tony Rees back through the middle again, looking for offside. Whoa, and I don't know. I think it's that was the appealing of the Bournemouth back four that got that one. Payton's kick. Paul Agnew meets it well. But at Southend last week, when Town lost 2-0, we didn't exactly do ourselves justice on the day. Southend did look a very good, complete side. And when the scoreline was 1-0 to Southend, Town had a free kick in a very similar position to the one that's just been scored from. And Dave Gilbert, Steve Sherwood collects this, Dave Gilbert absolutely blasted it way over the top. And it was a shame then that we didn't have the same result from that free kick as we did from the one we've just seen, because I think it would have put a completely different complexion on the game at Southend, and Town didn't do themselves justice on the day. But we shall not argue the point now. That is history, and that is exactly how Dave Gilbert can hit the free kick from that position. 60 minutes of the game gone. The scoreline is Grimsby Town 3, Bournemouth 0. And at the risk of harping on about it, I'll say it once again, considering the reshuffle that this Town side has had, you would not think that anything had happened. This side looks as though it's played together for week after week after week. Woods under pressure. Cockerell, oh, just behind Dave Gilbert. That was tough. And that man has hardly put a foot wrong this afternoon. Forces to throw. Offside, Neil Woods. And Town fighting for every ball in this game today. Blissett. Still Blissett, still going. Okoku. Still Okoku. Knocks it into midfield, but it's past everybody. Rees has to stay onside. Woods releases Cunnington. Rees now makes his move into the middle. Sean Cunnington must have some support. Finds it with Gary Childs. Good play. Still Gary Childs, still going forward. Sean Cunnington will pick up the pieces. McDermott is square. John McDermott. Childs outside. Oh, look for the 1-4 for Rees. It wasn't a good ball. Sean Cunnington gets another chance. Nearly up to us. John McDermott will take the throw. Cunnington. Didn't like it. John Cockerell will pick it up. Still John Cockerell. In hard. My goodness, that's out of challenge. Berthel's in. We'll go after it again. Whoops. Faraday up against Agnew. Goes past Agnew. This is Faraday. Looks promising. Blissett in space. Well, the crowd show their appreciation. And poor old Luther Blissett has he's had better games than this over the years. And Luther Blissett has hardly had a look in much this afternoon. He's had a couple of opportunities, but he's made nothing of them, thankfully for Town. Here's Faraday. Ball inside for O'Driscoll. He feeds the wing. This will be Miller. Ball forward. Laid off. Okoku. Still Okoku into the middle now. Well played by Childs. Just did enough, and that will be a Town throw if that ball goes out. Well played. Blissett in the middle tried to pull his man round to allow the ball to go to the man who was coming in behind him, but it didn't work out. And Town able to get the ball away. Steve Sherwood will no doubt now launch this long kick straight through the middle. Be nice to see Neil Woods get himself on the score sheet. He's had a bit of a barren spell, and at the risk of sounding greedy, it'd be nice to see that scoreline of 3-0 become 4-0 and Neil get himself in there. Well, and he might do yet. Paul Miller at the back, who hasn't made many mistakes throughout the afternoon. Oh, actually, that wasn't Miller. That was Dundee knocking the ball away for an unnecessary corner. And we might get a chance to see Woods get that goal. Let's see. Corner taken quickly. Bertels back to Gilbert. Birtle's still available. Not now. Gilbert will have to take the man on. Bliss it up against him. That'll be another corner. Not given. And Dave Gilbert there arguing that he thought the ball had gone out for a corner, but it's going to be a goal kick. And a good attendance here today, 5,651. And that's about 1,000 up on the predictions of Graham, Martin and myself. We thought we would be about the 4,500 mark today with Christmas and everything else. But the town fans have done done the team proud today. Handball. Whoops. Neil was just getting a talking to. And 5,500, certainly not a bad crowd at all. The last shopping day before Christmas, or last Saturday before Christmas. Ball back to Miller. Long kick from him to the edge of the area. Koku's there. Here's Blissett. Wanted the 1-2. Shot coming in, but wide, well wide as well. Few unnecessary racial chants coming from the pontoon stand. It's not the sort of things that we want to be hearing, especially this time of year. Steve Sherwood. Dave Gilbert will surely get the ball to the right wing. Looks to go himself. Pressure and numbers beat him. Morrell back to his keeper. And Bournemouth now well and truly up against it. Long ball straight through the middle. Lever. Birtles. And a class above it. And Andy Tilson has gone on his way now, and should it be a case that Gary Birtles will play some of this season at the back alongside Mark Lever, then it'll be nice to see how young Mark, as though he's not mature enough already, as that ball comes into the middle. There's barging there, and a penalty kick. Sean Cunnington was a man knocked over as the cross came in from Gilbert, and the referee right on the spot to award the penalty. I was just going to say it'll be nice to see how Mark Lever will mature alongside Gary Birtles. As I say, it's not as though he isn't mature enough. He's had a very fine season, but I'm sure that Gary Birtles will probably bring the best out of young Mark if he keeps that position. Well, here's a chance for Dave Gilbert to make it 4-0, take his goal tally to 2 for the game. It's Gilbert versus Payton. Let's see. Hammered in. Whoa. 4-0. Dave Gilbert 2. And Bournemouth are being roasted. "68 minutes of the game gone. The scoreline is 4-0. Rees got the first goal, Cunnington the second. 2 have since then come from dead kick situations from little Dave Gilbert. 1 from a free kick, 1 from a penalty. And Bournemouth have no answer today. So 22 minutes of the match left. And there's still a chance for Town to build on this total. Towards Woods, climbing there by Teal, nothing given. Well in by Sean Cunnington, after it again, still going. Cockrell gets in there, and again. The referee allows play to go on. Rees, still Tony Rees. The goalkeeper is cut off. Can Bournemouth clear it? Only just. In actual fact, they've done well. The ball finally out for a throw-in, and that's credit to the pressure put on the Bournemouth defence by Town. Sean Cunnington, ball pinch from John McDermott. Town will get the throw again. John McDermott Morrell back to his goalkeeper. But the scoreline here is Grimsby Town 4, Bournemouth 0. This equals Town's biggest win of the season so far, which was against Huddersfield Town. Free kick given. Dave Gilbert looking to get the runner through the middle, which was Cunnington, but has to hold up play. Steve Sherwood enjoying himself, acknowledging the score with the Town fans in the pontoon. Dave Gilbert pushes the ball forward, offside against Woods. Good jump by Birtles. Cunnington again. Cockrell going after it. Morrell. Birtles breaks up the movement, but the header goes out to the right wing. This is Dundee. Checks. Pushes the ball out wide, but under pressure all the time, and that's harmless and goes out for a Grimsby throw. Another Town throw. And as the conditions turn nasty out there, it's absolutely bucketing down with the rain at the moment. Blissett. Agnew saw it first. Smashes the ball down to the other end. Ball goes back. Oh, and good play by Paul Agnew. He's had an absolutely sterling game at the back. Childs. Sean Cunnington will take over and back to his goalkeeper. To the left wing, Dave Gilbert looking to get past his man, saves the ball. Oh, and a good turn by Woods. Rees in the middle, chance for Rees, and just dropping over the top. Lovely twist and turn by Neil Woods to shake off his marker. The flight to the cross was good, and Tony Rees just couldn't get the power into the header he wanted. 72 minutes of the game gone. It's Grimsby Town 4, Bournemouth 0. Flicked on by Blissett. Gary Birtles, Blissett out jumps him this time. Paul Agnew hammers the ball forward. Straight through to Payton. Mark Lever underneath it. Redknapp. Not the best of balls out to the wing. Faraday did very well to even reach it. Paul out. And the Town side, from Steve Sherwood, number 1, to Neil Woods at number 11, have played very, very well this afternoon. As the ball goes out there, and there you have it. That's the conditions at the moment. As though it isn't bad enough losing 4-0, you're going to get wet into the bargain as well, because it is absolutely chucking it down at the moment. And poor old Bournemouth up against it in all forms. Whoop. Bit too over eager, shall we say there. Free kick given to Bournemouth. 74 minutes of the game gone. 25 yards out from the Town goal. Redknapp. Ball moving again. The referee will want the kick taken. Redknapp. Into the middle, good looking one. But a bit of climbing there, I think, on Mark Lever, who's out poleaxed. Both trainers in actual fact came running onto the pitch, but it's Mark Lever who's down and injured. Corner comes in. And away. Bournemouth will no doubt settle for the throw. Dundee. Dundee really had to make that pass snappy. He didn't do so. He's probably just as well, otherwise he could have been known as Crocodile Dundee. Ball goes back to him again. Now into midfield. O'Driscoll back to the wing. Ball into the middle now, met by Childs. So Town allowing Bournemouth to come into this game in the last 5 or so minutes. And certainly wouldn't want to concede a goal and spoil what's been a pretty good performance. Whoops. Cockrell. And that's on the beach. Koku. Ball out. And poor old Bournemouth not quite getting their act together. Redknapp, ball inside. Cunnington, Cockrell, ball forward. Rees, lovely play. Woods in motion, good challenge. And that was Teal doing his job. Cockrell, late challenge over there. Paul Agnew wants to go in with it. Free kick will go Bournemouth's way. Cross into the middle, a nasty looking one. Childs to the edge of the area, still there. My, that was hard. Whoops, man looking for the obstruction, nothing given, quite rightly. Ball goes out, goal kick for Grimsby Town. And the rain is absolutely persisting down. That is bucketing down at the moment. And if I was Chris Hargreaves and Kevin Joblin on the bench, I think I'd be quite happy to stay there at this moment in time. I don't think I'd want the gaffer sending me on in this lot. Whoops. Tony Rees. Oh, just too far in front of Dave Gilbert. Yes, and as Graham has reminded me, we've got to walk over the top of the stand in this weather. It won't be too pleasant an experience, I can assure you. Mark Lever, this time Koku gets the better of him. Gary Birtles, though, in turn gets the ball back to Steve Sherwood. Offside, yep. And apart from a couple of only half lapses in the Town defence, I think it is fair to say that the back four today have played absolutely splendidly. But then the entire team has. This has been a good team performance. And then, as if to shut me up, John McDermott slams a ball wide of Tony Rees. But all the Town players have had a good game today. It's all come right for them. Ball forward, no offside there, or yes. Didn't think that one had been spotted. That was Sean O'Driscoll who had gone forward and got caught. So 79 minutes of the game gone. The scoreline here is Grimsby Town 4, Bournemouth 0. Bournemouth throw. Long ball forward, Paul Agnew underneath it. Sean Cunnington getting there first. The ball allowed to go out, Bournemouth will get the throw. pinched. Woods being pulled back, or is he? Yes, linesman spotted it. Referee acknowledges it. And was allowed... Well, the referee was trying to allow play to go on there, but it just didn't come off. Here's Gilbert. Cockrell. When the referee trying to let the players keep playing. Town will start things off again with a throw. Agnew. Plenty of men in front of him. Another throw for Town. Throw taken. Ball into the middle now. Woods was looking for it, wasn't going to reach him. Gary Birtles takes a pace out of the ball, checks, and now looks to release it. Good pass. Brings in Gary Childs. Two men in the middle. The overlap is on with John McDermott. And there goes John McDermott. Made himself a bit of space, but it'll come back to Gary Childs, looking for the chip over the top. Woods back to the wing. Childs, low cross into the near post. Reese with a back heel. Didn't quite come off. Once again, good approach play by Town. Childs after it. And good release to the far side. Ball through the middle. Okoku tries a back heel. Mark Lever. Now Morrell. Sean Cunnington. Still Sean Cunnington. Two men left side of him. Sean Cunnington wants support behind him. Tony Reese wants the ball played in. Tony Reese has gone offside. Childs. Tony Reese now looking to get past the man. Well played. Back to Gary Childs. Tony Reese still available. Looking for the little one there for Neil Woods, who finds himself offside. Town stretching the Bournemouth defence. .83 minutes of the match gone. Town get another throwing on the far side. The scoreline is still Grimsby Town 4, Bournemouth 0. Cockrell wants the ball back. Conditions not helping things out there now. Sean Cunnington. Childs. Reese is forward. Still Gary Childs. Still Gary Childs. Jinking run now. Looks to release it. Woods gives the ball back. No obstruction on Childs. Okoku, or should I say Blissett. Ball picking up speed on the wet surface. Out for a Town throw. John McDermott will take it. Sean Cunnington. Back to John McDermott. Push through the middle. Gary Birtles underneath it. And well played by Paul Agnew, who's hardly put a foot wrong this afternoon. And Steve Sherwood to kick. Straight through the middle. Neil Woods is after it. Mark Lever, good ball forward, finds Cockrell. Paul Agnew. Reese through the middle, looking to head it on. Good play. Sean Cunnington, who was the man who was on the run. Gary Birtles meets it well. It's only headed infield though to Holmes. Now Blissett. Faraday. Into the middle it comes. Man on the far post, not able to make anything of it. Ball out for a goal kick. So 5 minutes to full time, and the scoreline here is Town 4, Bournemouth 0. Reese, Cunnington and a brace from Gilbert in the second half. Tony Reese couldn't quite get the header he wanted. Birtles to Childs. John McDermott. Patient play by Town. John McDermott back to his goalkeeper. Steve Sherwood once again, that big kick straight through the middle. Woods this time gets a flick on. Reese after it. Well played by Dundee, back to his goalkeeper. Paul Agnew just did enough. Dave Gilbert with the header on. Ball will go out though. Bournemouth throw. Faraday. O'Driscoll. Morrell is on the wing. This is Morrell looking to cross now. Back to the wing again. Morrell once again makes himself available. A good cross to the edge of the box. Dundee heads forward, looks for the return. It goes out there to Blissett. John Cockrell. The chase is on for Neil Woods. Neil Woods lays off. Here's Tony Reese. Tony Reese. Cunnington inside him. Still Reese. Oh yes! 5-0! Tony Reese. And once again it was a persistence of Neil Woods. The ball broke from him. Tony Reese went on his way. Didn't quite connect with the shot, but it was all enough to beat Jerry Payton and the Bournemouth defence, and Bournemouth are now in tatters. 5-0 to Grimsby Town. For a throw to Bournemouth. Blissett looks for the 1-2. Picked off. Well played by Agnew. And caught late as well. But there's no bad feeling out there. And in fairness to Bournemouth, they could have lost a rag today. They were 2-0 down at half time. Went 4-0 down midway through the second half. Are now really on the rack. But they've played it in a fair spirit. But have certainly been second best on the day today. 2 minutes of the game left. Steve Sherwood. Tony Reese underneath it. Heads on. But this one will go through to Payton. So it's a funny old way to get the fifth goal. Tony Reese half slipped as he shot. Jerry Payton in goal almost did the same, but there was nothing wrong with that. Tony Reese's back heel inside finds Cunnington. Sean Cunnington has the left wing free with Dave Gilbert. Goes for the return. He's covered every yard of this pitch today as Cunnington will give the ball back to Dave Gilbert. Coming into the middle again, we'll get the 1-2. Still Dave Gilbert, inside for him. Still Dave Gilbert. Chances there and put wide. And what a good round of applause from the Town fans. And Dave Gilbert there, not on his favourite peg. If that had been on his left foot, I think we'd have had 6 goals. Long one through the middle. Lukaku, back to Blissett. O'Driscoll. Morrell to a Koku into the middle, only half away. Gary Birtles, but when things are going right, that's exactly what happens. And Gary Birtles gets his clearance away. Woods, he's really stretched this Bournemouth defence this afternoon. Neil Woods still going, and it's only O'Driscoll's challenge coming back that stops another dangerous situation for the Bournemouth defence. And Neil Wood's a little bit of an unsung hero this afternoon because he's chased every ball. And as you saw from there, that's the reason why he's got a few goals himself this season, because he'll stick at it and stick at it all the time. Well, we reckon that is about time. And what a good Christmas present from the Town players to give the fans 5-0 win over Bournemouth here. We go to Reading on Boxing Day. And we will now be looking for points from Reading. But what a marvellous result that is on the last Saturday before Christmas. It's Grimsby Town 5, Bournemouth 0. The score at half-time was 2-0, courtesy of Tony Rees and Sean Cunnington. In the second half, 2 goals from Dave Gilbert, 1 from a free kick, 1 from a penalty kick, put Town 4-0 up. The final nail in Bournemouth's coffin came when Tony Rees slid the ball in for number 5. And it's nice to see that the Bournemouth players applauding their own supporters there. They've got a long journey back of the supporters, as have Bournemouth, but today they came out well and truly second best to a Grimsby Town side that was in full flow. The scoreline is Grimsby Town 5, Bournemouth 0, and it's on to Reading and hopefully more points down there.